happy to just sit in and play Magic with you folks. So let's jump into it. We'll play some white black vehicles. If I'm happy with it, I might keep going. There's a distinct possibility that I might start trying to learn Modern at some point in the near future, so that'll be fun. Don't know what on earth I want to play tonight if I'm playing... Aha! I knew there would be an issue. I want you there. And then I want you down there. Perfect. Perfect. Yes, I would like to play first. And there's good luck, have fun to my opponent. Hand is perfectly reasonable. We have a good curve here of Toolcraft into Heart, and we've got a Fatal Push for interaction, so we're going to keep this. Yep, cool. Update apparently messed with just a ton of different things, so like the webcam wasn't working, okay, we're getting Adventurous Impulse. This could be Constructor, could just be mono green. Yeah, update messed with a bunch of things. My sound apparently, as well as my my thingy camera. So okay, we could have done with a land there, but whatever. And we're going to stick a stop in our beginning combat step in case I need to crew the Heart. It is Constructor. They're going to shoot my Toolcraft Exemplar here. Yep. Right. Land. Yeah, that'll do. So we're basically going to try and kill whatever they play here. Chances are it'll be a 2-drop. Oh no, Jadelight Ranger, that's tilting. But fortunately they just mole drifted it. I was hoping for that Winding Constrictor, but you know, what can you do? Land. Opponent is stopping us in our upkeep. Okay then. Heart of Kira, Karn, Scion of Urza. Karn, Scion of Urza goes up. 2 cards into the reveal card zone. What was the other one that we've got? History of Benalia. Okay, that's cool. So, opposing deck is not Constructor as I know it, because Jadelight Ranger is obviously not in that deck, but it is playing things that will get bigger. So I think we're gonna crew here and then attack, because no, there we go. There are only a few instances where my opponent actually gets to kill Karn next turn. And that is, they both have a way of pumping the Jadelight Ranger and killing my Heart of Kiran. Which, I'm not saying that they don't have, but I am saying that it's pretty hard for them to have. And also continue playing a game plan. We're going to go to blocks, block. Opponent let me block. Choops! Ah, I like it. I like it. Could have done with a land there, but I think we can go down Karn, make History of Benalia. Undo. Let's tap our lands correctly, shall we? So this is just green-black good stuff, which seems fine. Chupacabra has gone way up in my estimation this season. Lyra Dawnbringer has obviously helped that. You're just going to pile them all on the Chup. 3 of them on the Chup. Chup-chup-a-doop. I don't know why I keep doing that. We're going to block here. And then instead we're going to fail push this Chupacabra. Yep. We're going to tick up. Opponent gave us Concealed Courtyard. Isolated Chapel is in the graveyard, is in the exile pile. That's absolutely fine. There's nothing to currently fatal push, so I kind of want to get this Concealed Courtyard down, play Scrappy and Knight of Malice. So I think that's probably what we're going to do. So yeah, the basic plan here is just hold out, defend Karn. Let my opponent waste a bunch of resources trying to kill it, and then if they ever manage to, we play the second Karn. As to be said, possibly my tick up with Karn the first turn he came down might have been wrong. My only fear was if my opponent then goes removal spell, kill the blocker, attack, removal spell, kill the Heart of Kiran. Like, double fatal push is not out of the question. Yep, seems good at the Karn. And yep, we're going to double block here. There's a snake. There's the scavenger. We're going to attack with the Scrappy, see what we get. Yeah, didn't think that was happening. That's annoying. That's very annoying, in fact. Okay, well, we're going to try Nifnir Deadlands to kill this Death Gorge Scavenger, I think. And then I think we might just push this Winding Constrictor, because A, defend the Karn seems good. B, my opponent has shown me that they do not have blossoming defense. Yep, okay. Okay, opponent's conceded. Right. So they are reasonably minimal on actual interaction points. So this Angel of Sanctions might be fantastic. The extra fatal push also seems good because you have to kill the snake on sight. Doomfall doesn't seem particularly interesting. Fumigate's only vaguely interesting. They're not a big green stompy deck. They're just a green deck. They've got some green hits in. Yeah, I don't feel like bringing in the Fatal Push here. As for what's coming out for those things, they've got Walking Ballista, so Toolcraft doesn't feel great. Yeah, actually, I'd be happy to take out all the Toolcrafts here. Scrounger, we get to attack, we get to Crew Heart. I quite like it. Like, Crew Heart on defense as well. Whereas, obviously, Toolcraft Exemplar can only Crew Heart on the attacks. It's tempting to take out this last one for something like a Fragmentize. Get a Walking Ballista, or a Forsake the Worldly. Get a Walking Ballista, or a Gearhulk. No, I've taken out 3 creatures. I brought in 2 and a Fatal Push. We're on the draw though. Yeah, okay. We'll bring in a Forsake the World. That seems fine. 2 Forsake the World in a Fragmentize. Maybe a little bit overkill, but this hand is great. Yeah, we'll keep this. I also need to move my pop filter down so that I'm not blocking my screen with it. Opponent is deciding on the mulligan. We're going to keep this. Opponent has mulliganed. They've kept. They've topped. Seems like a pretty good opener to me. I'm very interested in Fatal Pushing this Llanowar Elves, in fact. I don't know. Is it just that the snake is more important? Is letting my opponent untap with a Llanowar Elves just that bad? No, you know what? We're going to kill this thing. We're not letting them get ahead on mana on us. The problem is obviously the fact that my opponent might not necessarily have anything to do with it. They play a lot of 2-drops. Like this deck is a fine deck for 2-drops. Alright, that's tilting. As is the Heart of Kiran draw. Instead of a land. We're going to drop this heart. No, we're not. We're going to drop a Scrappy. No, we're not. Knight of Malice. Knight of Malice is the play because next turn we get to go... If we hit our land drop, we get to go History of Benalia, double block this stupid Glint Sleeve Siphoner before it gets out of hand. And there's the Constrictor. Yeah, do your thing. And of course, didn't actually hit the land. Okay, now we're going to play the Heart of Kiran. Yeah, opponent's going to run away with this one if we can't hit a bloody land drop here. Oh, opponent is already running away with this one. Concede. Let's move on with our lives, shall we? Yes, we would like to play first. No, we wouldn't like to keep this hand. We're going to mulligan that. Yeah, we're going to keep this. We're going to bomb that. Isolated Chapel first, because the Concealed Courtyard comes in untapped, obviously. Okay, we're running mono knights here. Oh, Constrictor, not what I expected. Biology, don't know much about the French I took. Sorry. Oh, that's gross. Yep, that's pretty gross. Opponent can't attack though, which is lovely. Land. Heart of Kiran. Knight of Malice number 2. This is a pretty good board state. Like, I don't think my opponent should have attacked there, but at the same time they could have, and it would have been very bad. Opponent would rather tap. Okay, so they binned a naturalize, they put a forest on, they drew a forest, which they've now played. They're going to naturalise my History of Benalia. Yep, that seems pretty good to me. Land Lyra? I mean, opponent cannot attack. Land Lyra Crew Heart with Lyra is really interesting, because I don't want to leave these. I don't want to take down 2 blockers, but I also don't want to give up my first striking blockers. To be fair, Lyra is also a first striking blocker. Yeah, okay, we'll crew with these 2 knights. Give it up, baby, give it up. Now I've just got random songs flowing around in my head. Nothing to do with the History of Benalia, of course. Choops! Yeah, Choops is a pretty good hit here. Yeah, no, nice one. Opponent still refuses to attack, which is great. We're going to crew with these 2 knights as opposed to the first striking knights. There we go. Right then. Might just win with this Heart of Kiran. Glinty's not bad either. 2 draws they get out of that because the bloody Winding Constrictor in play. Yeah, that's annoying. Spell. Khan is a very fine spell. Khan is in fact one of the better spells. Can't go up. Okay. At least we dug through them. Yeah, we can remove a loyalty counter from Khan to attack here. Seems fine. They got it. What is this? Ah, this is Vraska Contempt on my Heart of Kiran. Intriguing. They got another one for my... No, they've got a Gearhulk. That's not great. But none of their other creatures have trample, so... Don't necessarily know how they're intending on... Yeah, okay. I mean, that seems entirely reasonable. At Khan. Can chump with both of these knights. Could trade off 3 knights to kill the Winding Constrictor and then chump. It's putting a lot of pressure on the Khan to be very good next turn. I'm interested in the double chump. No, I don't think we can give up board position for Khan, unfortunately. Like this Verdurous Gearhulk kills it next turn anyway, so we'd get one more activation out of it. If we tick down, we're getting a 1/1. If we tick up, we're getting probably a land or something. So no, we're going to take this. Don't think we're coming out of this one particularly well. I actually think this might be a pretty rough matchup for us. Like, I could be wrong, but I think this is a not great matchup. And we haven't drawn well enough, and I'm pretty sure we're just dead in like 2 turns. So we're going to concede and we're going to get on with our lives. Yep, opponent managed to stabilise the board and then obviously got rid of our ability to defend defend Khan, which is, you know, they played it well. What do we got here? We got Concealed Scavenger. Yeah, this is a keep. Looking for a land here, but that seems to be basically always the case with this deck. Ah. This could be bad. Okay, that's not as bad as I thought it'd be. Tempted to play Knight of Malice here. Still beats a Chain Whirler. If they have an Ahn-Crop Crasher, they have to exert it. Yeah, I'm up for the Knight of Malice here. But if they have the removal spell, then the Walking Ballista's just better. Yeah, alright. We'll play the Walking Ballista. Because this kind of looks like my opponent has a removal spell. Not going to shoot the Bomat Courier. We're going to see if we can get something else out of it. Preferably something like either an Ahn-Crop Crasher Exert or an actual block on another hasty creature. Like, as I say, the Ahn-Crop Crasher would be pretty good. Yeah, alright, we'll shoot you in response. I ain't getting you letting you get an Ancestral Recall. Okay. Is it possible that my opponent just doesn't have a very good draw? Okay, we're gonna play a Knight of... No, we're not. We're gonna play a Heart of Kiran because it's essentially the same thing next turn, and is... I have the spare one in hand and is more annoying for them to kill anyway. A Braid on my heart. Okay, cool. Oh, Lightning Strike me. Opponent has the burn spell hand. Probably with a Hazoret in it. I mean... ain't much I could do about that, particularly. We're going to make a 2-2 chump blocker. Actually, we're going to chump with the heart. I should have ticked up. No, I like this line because it still means they have to have... Okay. Sweet. That's pretty good, actually. Now we are forced to jump on the Hazoret with the construct, though, and let the heart block the Bomat Courier. Because if we block the heart on the Hazoret and then block the construct on the Bomat Courier, the construct dies at the end of turn. Well, when the heart dies anyway, so... Sending with both. Yes, of course. We're going to do the crew, remove... I'm assuming this is both of me. Actually... we're going to block it this way. Because that Bomat's never actually dealing the damage, is it? It's being sacrificed to draw a card. So, yeah, let's do this. That's tilting. That's incredibly tilting. Opponent has given me the history of Benalia, knowing that there's not a great deal I can do with it, and remove Gideon of the Trials. That's pretty good. Actually, I really want to defend this Khan now. Which means what I want to do is play both Heart and Knight of Malice, I think, as opposed to the history of Benalia. Getting hold of this Gideon is probably the game plan at the moment. Okay. You go to attackers. Knight's going to block there. Heart's going to block on the Goblin Chain Whirler. If my opponent has a removal spell for either of them, then I get to Fatal Push the Goblin Chain Whirler. Looks like my opponent has not got those things. So we are going to go to blocks here. End step will kill this Goblin Chain Whirler. Wham bam, thank you, ma'am. Lyra Dawnbringer, you say? Is that better than Gideon? No, I think Gideon History is probably better. We're gonna tick down, get Gids. Gids into play. Tick her up. Tick up on her. Didn't discard the card, which is interesting. Because obviously, as I prevented all damage from Hazoret, discarding the card now does no damage. An opponent actually only has mana enough to do that once on each turn, currently. Chandra's pretty decent. Chandra is pretty decent. Yep. We will tick up on Khan, Scion of Urza. They've given us a Knight of Malice and put a History of Benalia in our exile pile. That's not bad as well. Tick up on Hazoret. Attack at the Chandra. Play... We have to get rid of the Chandra before we play the Lyra. Because Chandra just means that any of their burnt spells kill my Lyra. And I need the Lyra. Or we could tick up on... No, ticking up on Chandra's a bad idea, because as soon as she hits... like, if she hits a spell, that's still bad for us, whereas Hazoret then can't throw things at us or realistically attack us for any value. So, we're gonna... tick up on Haz. We're going to crew with a Gid loyalty, which I realise that I should now have done with the Scrappy Scrounger loyalty, but the Scrappy Scrounger, but what can you do? And then we're going to attack Chandra. Oh, of course, Chandra's going to 1 here. So we can play Lyra. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No spare mana though. I think that's fine. Yeah, Chandra goes to 1. She can't Flame Slash. Opponent still has to have double removal spell. Or hit an extra removal spell off of this. Mountain. That's pretty bad for us, but... we've still got Lyra, so unless they've got a fight with fire in hand. Yeah, cool. They didn't. Can't believe we won that one. Right, Fatal Push in... Angel of Sanctions kind of feels necessary. I don't think Fumigate is necessary though. I think Doomfall might be. They'll be going up into more Planeswalkers. So we'll bring a Doomfall in. Deals with Has. Deals with a lot of other nonsense. So, yeah, we'll try that. I mean, the Spyglass is interesting, but they have access to Abrades, and they will, if they have them, they'll be bringing them in to deal with Heart. And I mean, obviously, some plan is overpower them, but they're just getting on the board. So, okay, we're going to go with this. Yeah, don't know how on earth I survived that game, but Lyra's a hell of a card, so. Cool. No, Mulligan. Yeah, that's probably a keep. It's not great. That's going on the bottom. Okay, that's a good sign. That's also pretty good. Okay, they've gone way up. To be fair, we could do with... No, we're just going to play this Heart of Kiran into this obvious Abrade, I think. Oh, okay. Chain Arncrop Crasher. Okay, fair enough. Okay. Creatures. The landscape is creatures. We want creatures, not more spells. Thinking of Doomfalling their hand. Yeah, we're going to Doomfall their hand. We need to get out ahead of this big stuff that they've clearly got in their hand, so... Fight with Fire and another Arncrop Crasher. I think I'd rather they had the other Arncrop Crasher, so we're going to take this Fight with Fire. Obviously, Arncrop Crasher can be dealt with. Especially when I've got Heart of Kiran's. Yep. Kind of expected that. The old double fatal push, no ability to get the trigger active. Draw. We are, however, going to Thopter Arrest one of these. Get rid of that as well. Yep, that's a pretty good one. Slam that boy into play. Opponent kills my knight, I get to Fatal Push the Arncrop Crasher. Opponent exerts the Arncrop Crasher, I end up with 2 knights. Before they get to attack again. Right, I know nothing of their hand. To be fair, if I was them, I probably would have stopped playing out lands. Yep, exerts. We go to 5. It's not fantastic. Okay. I am, however, going to fatal push that. I know how powerful Soulscar Mage is. Let's take that beginning of combat trigger off, stop off. There's no point for it. Hazaret or Chandra? Chandra's pretty bad. Not gonna lie. Glorybringer being exiled is very good. I could cast her out, but we have the answers for her this turn. So I don't think I'm doing that. I mean, we're just going to kill this Chandra. Which is super duper annoying, because obviously I'd much rather just send 8 at them, but can't leave a Chandra on the battlefield. And the cast out needs to be there to deal with Haz, so yeah, didn't think you would be. Angel of Sanctions. It's not terrible. They rip Hazaret off the top. They can go Hazaret, activate her once. Okay. We're gonna Angel of Sanctions. Question becomes, are we crewing the Heart of Kiran with her to 8 them down to 10, which is theoretically lethal next turn? Kind of think we are. Yes, we will use the ability. And then we're going to crew with this angel. Done. And we're going to attack. Look at all this vigilance. It's great. What you got for me, Rooney? Chandra ticked down. I kill the Armcrop Crasher because I've got the Revolt trigger. Hazaret can throw a thing at me, but I can block with a Knight. I then get to cast it out. Fight with fire, indeed. That was their draw. We will kill this then. I mean, I guess we're just embalming the Angel of Sanctions for like no value, just to try and kill my opponent very quickly here. Crew 3 here. Rule 1 for playing against red decks. Get them dead. Opponent is at 2. every one of my creatures is lethal. If they go land, fight with fire me, that would be pretty rough. But they didn't have it, so we're good. Cool. Let's play another one. I'm liking this list. Like, I like the deck. I think I still prefer black-red, but that's just because it's me, and I was testing black-red for weeks. Format seems fun though. Like, there's just a ton of different things going on. It was actually really hard to pick a deck for tonight, so I've gone with a classic. Yes, I would very much like to play first. Yes, I would very much like to mulligan this hand. This is a little bit more reasonable. I think we're allowed to keep this, especially with a scry. We're going to be scrying basically any land to the top and any non-land to the bottom. So that is not bad right there. Concealed Courtyard, which I possibly should have played second. What can you do? Manor Elves. Ugh. I think in the dark, I think I'm incentivized to just go Ballista Shoot. Like, if I knew more about what they were playing, maybe there's things where I'm just like, eh. But I think Ballista Shoot is pretty good here. Sweet, and we knocked them off of their turn and found a Fatal Push, which is pretty good. If we can hit another untapped land next turn, so basically anything but a Concealed Courtyard, we're looking pretty good. I'm pretty happy with how we're doing. This is probably going to be a Steel Leaf champion. Our matchup here is probably pretty bad. The Thrashing Brontodons means that most of our ways of actually dealing with things are Steel Leaf champion. To which, if we hit the land, we're just playing Karn. We didn't. We're just Thopter arresting that, I think. Could very much have done with a land, though. Oh, that's super tilting. That is super tilting. So if we go Karn, tick up. Yeah, I think we're just slamming Karn here, ticking up. There are obviously lines that make us sad here, but we've got the defenses. We've got the ways of crewing Heart to defend. What was the... Okay, Swamp. Okay, so they gave me the tap land over the untapped land. Seems reasonable. And obviously, if they sack the Thrashing Brontodon to get the Steel Leaf champion back, then I've still got this Heart of Kiran. Yep, okay. Ronus is annoying. Golta is more annoying. I'm assuming this attack is just going to come straight at me. No attack. That seems annoyingly sensible. Up reveal. Another Khans and the plains. They should have actually probably have given me the Khan. We can throw Lyra on the battlefield, and I think that's the plan here. Because then we get to block Steel-Leaf Champion profitably. If they don't have a blossoming defense. Which would be bad. But I don't see any other line for us to take here. We're probably also ticking down the Khan to crew the Heart so that it can chump the Ronus. Not what I was hoping for this game, but what can you do? Okay, they've still only got one card in hand, and I'm assuming they're just flunging at us here. Yeah, Ronus has double activation, which means that there's another 4 power on this board. Ghalta at the Khan. I mean, I would be doing that, but I think I'd still be sending everything else at us. At me, not at me. Okay, the no attack with the Steel Leaf is pretty good here, yeah. We're gonna Kruber removing a loyalty counter. We're going to be taking 16 this turn, which... And obviously this is super annoying as well, because this is my revolt trigger. But the fatal push, yeah. That I have no mana to cast. Okay, they had a Merfolk Branchwalker. Blossoming Defense is on top of their library. So I have this turn to draw a removal spell for that Ghalta, or I am dead. No, I have Malice and Swamp. Yeah. We can go back up to 11 and die. Cool. Green feels like a rough matchup here. Main deck Thrashings is pretty rough. We're going to bring in the Fumigates. We're going to bring in the Doomfalls, I think. I think we're going to take out the Scrapheap Scroungers. Normally I would be like, no, we keep the Scroungers in because they threaten our opponents, blah, blah, blah. But the reality is our opponents just brickwall these too hard and too quickly. Angel of Sanctions is another interesting one for... Toolcraft Exemplars? No, I like the Toolcraft Exemplars actually. I also like the Fatal Pushes. Gideon's a pretty good removal spell. Maybe it's Khan. Like, drop a Khan and then drop 2 Hearts of Kiran. They don't seem great, but most... So when I was on Black-Red, the plan was kill all of their small stuff and then fly over for the win. Problem is here, obviously, we've not got as much removal going on. Actually, no, I like the Heart when we're bringing in the Fumigates. Maybe the histories are too... No, actually, I'm just going to take out these Toolcrafts. We're taking out the Toolcrafts. They're a bit medium. They also might have Hearts as well, which means that maybe I should be bringing in Fragmentize. I don't know how many lists are running the Hearts at the moment. But I've still got the full 4 Fatal Pushes, so if they have it, we might be reasonably well insulated. That was just a little bit of an unfortunate draw. If we'd been able to play the Khan the turn earlier, we might have been in just... We would have been in just a better position. Yes, I would like to play first. This is a very tempting hand. Fatal Push from turn 2 onwards. We've got the Cast Out. We've got Heart of Kiran, which we can't currently crew. I think this is a mulligan, actually. Okay, we've got the Fumigate here, so I think we keep this on the back of the Fumigate, and we're going to bottom that land. We're looking for some sort of action. Of course. Because why wouldn't you have Llanowar Elves on turn 1? You're a green deck. Okay, I'm really glad I bottomed that land now. Okay, that's interesting. Alright, yeah. Didn't have a 3-drop. Did have a Branch Walker into a forest. Well, I suppose it comes in untapped, but I could do with... Gideon would actually be insane. Gideon would be fantastic. But I'm not forcing my opponent to get on the board. That's the problem here. If I was doing things, I'd be forcing my opponent to come onto the board so that I could fumigate them. But I'm not doing anything because I haven't, like, my last 3 draw steps have been lands. Two draw steps, I suppose. Sorcerer's Spyglass, looking at my hand, is super annoying because they clearly are not going to play any more to the board here. Naming Heart of Kiran? Gideon? Gideon would be a good one to name. I mean, it's possible that next turn I'm casting out that Sorcerer's Spyglass and then fumigating the board on turn 5. Can't Scion of Urza. Yeah, okay, that's fine. Angel of Sanctions, that's a pretty decent draw, actually. Yep, we're just going to take a bunch of pain here. Cast out the Sorcerer's Spyglass so that we're ahead, and then fumigate the board. And when I say ahead, I mean ahead of, we've got Khan, now we need to find a way of actually getting him online. If opponent puts another creature on the battlefield, I'm super happy. I'm really confused as to why this Llanowar Elves has been holding back. Ah, Bestiary. Okay. Well, okay, that's actually the cast out target now, because Angel of Sanctions can get the Sorcerer's Spyglass. Yep, I've seen this engine before. I'm a little surprised that this is what my opponent's up to, but cool. Like, I figured that they would maintain velocity. Oh, for God's sakes. I've drawn one non-land in this game so far. Like, the Angel of Sanctions can get the Sorcerer's Spyglass, whether it will or not. I did trim a Khan, so actually, like, whatever this is, that's getting angeled. Let's have the boat. Yes. I'll have that boat off you. Come on. Give it here. None of that old Greenbelt Rampager crew bounce it malarkey. So the other deck that I was considering playing tonight was... Oh dear. It's all gone horribly wrong. No? Okay. We're still on. We're still on. Okay. Yeah. Thrashing Bronzodon to get back the Life Crafters Bestiary. Seems good. Yes. I mean, you have no extra green mana, so you can't actually draw a card here. This is just to gain you an energy, which is absolutely fine. I am really confused by this line of play. I would have been like, cool, land, Greenbelt Rampager, draw the card. Next turn, Greenbelt Rampager, draw another card. I don't fully understand this line. Oh my god! Can I stop drawing fucking lands? Please. Please. Right, we're going to attack. So, next turn they can bring back their Resilient Cameron, which is pretty bad for us. So what I think I'm actually going to do is ding this guy down. Just to make it a little less bad. And then we'll play out this heart. Also, it has to be said, if they bring back the Kenra, they don't actually get to Bestiary. So... that's fine. And I'm being attacked for 5 here, which is also fine. Yep. This game hates me. There's the only conclusion I can draw here. Yeah, not bad. That half-breed, it's not bad. Like, if we could draw some relevant cards, that'd be great. But it's mostly going fine. Yeah, but it's been a pretty good day. I got a bunch of code written, which has made me pretty happy. So next turn they could sacrifice the Hashep Oasis and 7 me if the Resilient Kenra is the only thing on the battlefield. 8 me if that and that are on the battlefield. I think we shrink the Kenra down, because that means that the other thing I can still block. Yeah, got a bunch of code written, which made me pretty happy, so I could start doing some analysis and that kind of nonsense. But and then also worked on the website for the podcast. We're trying to do like a library of just really good articles, you know, the sort of things where you're like, I wish I had this when I started playing Magic, or even I need to know about sideboarding. Let me read these articles about sideboarding. But it's been a lot of work over the last couple of days to like get it how I want it. Like, I could have released it and it would have been fine, but I wanted it how I wanted it, so a lot more work went into it because of that. Okay. Like, this is great. This is amazing. And we will be bringing in Fragmentizers post-board, but I still think my opponent would have been better off, like, just having more creatures. History of Benalia is pretty good here. We're at 9. We can chump whatever it is that they make big, take 3 or 4, depending on whatever it is they make big. We're And we can also crew the heart with the Angel of Sanction. So I think we're going to play this history. And hold. For a moment, at least. Like, the Lifecrafter's Bestiary puts us on a pretty good clock. Oh, thanks. Thanks, man. That's awesome. Yeah, I need to sort out, like, Google Play so that people with Androids can get us. So it's, like, there's a bunch of things that I just never knew when I started the podcast, and now I do, and now I wish I'd started it a different way, which is, you know, to be expected. Like, I wish I'd used SoundCloud and things like that, just because it seems like more people listen through SoundCloud and things. And concede. Yeah, this game is... This matchup is straight awful. They just have answers for every way that we have of dealing with their stuff. So... Oh, okay. Well, that's interesting. Alright. Well, I'll still get us on the Google Play thing, but that's good to know that you can still listen to us. We've actually got, at the moment, for next week, we've got one of the players who top 16'd at Birmingham, and I'm speaking to another one, and he said he's interested in coming on, and it's just a, like, when can we have him on sort of thing. Yeah, we'll keep this. It's not a fantastic hand, but it's a keep. So we might have two of the top 16ers from GP Birmingham on the next episode, which should be pretty cool, actually. Like, it should be really interesting to see how they came to the decks and what testing they did, etc., etc. Okay, Memorial to Genius. This looks like probably blue-white control. That's the only sort of deck that could really get away with playing that kind of land. Mushu for 3. Yeah, blue-white control. Mushu for 6. Play Heart. Oh, Bant things. Okay. Bant Walkers, perhaps? Yeah, like, sometimes you just look at it and you go, how is this a card? This is a 1-mana 3/2. I didn't think we printed those anymore. Right, we could do with our black source here. Like, now? Dang it. Oh, well. At least it's an untapped land, so we're going to go Walking Ballista for 2. Shoot that guy. Crew with the Scrounger. Done. And attack for 7. And we'll set our beginning of combat stop in case I need to crew another way. Put you to 4. Yeah, that was nuts. That was pretty cool. Okay, ban things. I don't actually know if they're going to be like ramp into Planeswalkers, ramp into like Lyra. I don't know. But I feel that the cast outs are good and the fatal pushes are medium. So we might just be dumping those. Spyglass would be good if they're Planeswalkers, and it might just give us a little bit of information. I think actually I'd rather just have the Duresses. We'll have the Duresses in for the fatal pushes. And I think the Angel of Sanctions for the Thopter rests. Doomfall is interesting. 2 Doomfall for 2 Walking Ballista. Yeah, right. This format feels like if you're going to play tap lands, you best have a really good way to catch up. Like, turn 3 ways to catch up. If you're not playing Sweltering Suns, why are you playing too many tap lands? Oh yeah, the card's insane. Of course, its price tag now reflects its insanity, so getting hold of them is tricky. I don't know. Is Doomfall, like, No, I think I'd rather just stick with the Duress for the moment, seeing as we don't know what they're doing. I'd rather have the Walking Ballista as a threat. Like, if the game goes long and I just go, vroom, here's like 9 power of Walking Ballista or something stupid like that. This hand is not a keep. This is a mulligan. We have a 1-drop and then we have nothing. This is a keep, amazingly enough. On the draw with a scry, this is a keep. Top, perfect. Yeah, no, that's tasty. That is tasty. Friend of mine used to love telling me that he had got Hangerback Walkers for $1 when Origins got spoiled, and then they like skyrocketed because everyone had them in their freaking decks. They were everywhere. Heart of Kiran or Scrounger first? I think it's probably the Heart. Because all things being equal, I'd rather be attacking for 7 next turn than 6. Yeah. Like, I don't have a clue what my opponent's doing at the moment, but Gids is good. Gids up on Heart, yep, seems fine. Isolated Chapel. I guess we're just playing the History of Benalia, which is fine, because the only reason that I would have been like, there's a choice, is so that Scrounger can crew the Heart, but Heart isn't doing anything. So, always yield to that. Gideon, not Gideon down. Yeah, it looks like a plains, like Bant Walkers or something. But it also looks like they're not going to get on the board fast enough, so... Yeah, I know the playing the Walking Ballista and shooting Gideon is an interesting one, is an interesting line, but I think I'd much rather have that available to me, like, on 4 when I go, here's my 4th land, make a 2/2 Walking Ballista, still have the carcass lying around, as it were. Yeah, went up on the Heart of Kiran. Amusingly, we're still forced to send both of our creatures at this Gideon because the thing that they can have at the moment is... Oh, I suppose they could have only really Seal Away. I suppose they could also have a bounce spell, which would be annoying. And also, if they do have a spell like that, then I can just go Walking Ballista, ping it, I suppose. Yeah, alright, we're gonna send the Knight at Gideon. Knight at Gideon, that at you. Let's see if I can get some damage in before you have Settle the Wreckage available. Like, blink of an eye would be annoying here. Like, nope, cycling Irritated Farmland. Rasher, Frasher, Rasher, Frasher, Frasher. Right, and then we're gonna tap out for a Walking Ballista. Is that correct, or should I just be playing Scrappy Scrounger? No, I think I'd rather have Walking Ballista in the back pocket. We're going to play a Scrappy Scrounger, because they could try and Fumigate us next turn. He's so irritated. I had so a friend of mine met the artist at a GP and got them to draw a little angry man on them, and I was like, "Yep, that's exactly what you want. That's perfect." Oh, okay, that works. This also means that they're not holding up Settle the Wreckage. Shoot here. Crew. Here. Yeah, crew here. I was just like debating the go to combat, do the things, but I think I'd rather do it this way, because if they seal away, they have to seal away an attacking creature, otherwise they're just going to die, at which point they're sealing away my Toolcraft Exemplar and then untapping and fumigating my Scrounger, which I am much happier with. Yeah, absolutely. Exactly like this. Opponent is at effective 1. If they allow me to untap, they die. Yeah, there we go. Bad stuff. Just not fast enough. Just not fast enough to get the defenses down. Yeah, our curve both games was kind of mental. I'm not going to deny that. We got pretty lucky with our curve in both games. Oh, it's gone dark outside. It's all night all of a sudden. So I'm gonna be streaming for a fair few hours here. I'm actually tempted to say I'll stream until my wife gets home, and the wife should get home at something like 2 o'clock in the morning. But I think that might be pushing it a little bit. But we might. We'll see how we go. So I think we're 5 hours ahead of New York normally. British summertime versus American daylight savings occasionally messes with that. But I think normally we're 5 hours ahead of the East Coast. Because obviously England is and the UK is small enough that Mulligan that we only have the one time zone. So Sneep. Yeah, we'll have you on top. I like this. I like this so far. And we're going to go for an isolated chapel on its own. I've also liked the fact that, I mean, I know that these lands existed before. Yeah, so it's 8:42. Well, now it's 8:42 PM here. So yeah, 5 hours is about right. Okay. This is a very good hand for blue-white control, especially if they stumble on the next land drop. To be fair, though, even if they go untap land, I go Scrap Heap Scrounger, your Syncopate does nothing. Okay, Glacial Fortress. We're going to attack with a Scrappy Scrounger. See if they seal it away. Hey, wrecked. I was like, name is in bright red, can't read. There we go. So, opponent is really wondering about me going to combat here. Oh, I need to take my beginning combat stop off. I only do it when I've got heart and what's his face out. Modern. Modern is a format I do not remotely understand. Like, I have to learn it, but I don't understand it. I have to learn it for GP Liverpool at the end of the year. I'm playing in a team. Okay, so if opponent seals away here, like taps even remotely low, we slam Kharn onto the battlefield and wreck them. It appears that the opponent has learned, however, so we're going to go for a History of Benalia instead. Which they can syncopate, so is it worth just holding? No, I like trying to get this on the battlefield. It says there's no bigger game plan. Don't even worry about it. Burr? What are you thinking about here? Oh, the I only have one pack because I need it to make up the card thing at the checkout or something, and then just rip the ultimate card out of it. Yeah, that's pretty good. So we ended up with, yeah, that seems reasonable. We ended up with a ton of packs from GP Birmingham because, yeah, I mean that is pretty much the ideal, right? Every Magic player's dream of just being like, well, I opened a booster and now I don't have to buy boosters for the rest of the season. But yeah, we ended up. I mean that's still a reasonable price. Yeah, like I think you're both happy at that point, right? That's the deal. You're both relatively happy with that. Opponent should probably try seal away here. Oh no, they're going to Glimmer. That's fine. It's possible I should have dropped the Khan on the battlefield and just seen if I could have forced them not to, but I'm assuming they've got the counter spell. Yeah, exactly. There's way more than you get if you sold it to a shop. Because I mean, I know GPs are pretty terrible for it, but I think people were like buying at £19 and selling at 30. No, selling at 45. He was 45 to buy from vendors, so it might have been like buying at 25 or something like that. But it was an insane like level of difference. Okay. I like where this guy's at. I think people don't down tick Teferi enough. I really don't. Oh, dude, the little kid luck is the best sort of luck. Don't even worry about it. Don't even worry about it, man. Friend of mine says that too about me. Do we kill the Teferi here? I don't even know if we do, because we're about to present them with a lot of... No, I think we do, because we get to kill them next turn if they don't have anything anyway. So we kill the Teferi and stop them from having anything. Khan, Scion of Urza, Tick Khan down, and then hold for Fumigates. Yeah, no, yeah, there we go. I mean, that's pretty good as well. I bought a pack of... I was at a big event in Birmingham, like not a GP, but like an open sort of thing. And I tried to get an MM15 draft to fire, because this was back when it had been out for like 3 months, but I was still interested in it. I thought it was a good format, and I hadn't gotten to play it. Yeah, the matchup is going to be good. But anyway, so I'm like, okay, why on earth aren't these firing? And it's, I didn't realise at the time, people weren't interested in spending £30 on a draft for an old set. Yeah, Lyra's too big. You're right, Lyra's the out here. She's too big. Cast out and Thopter arrests. I think we want the cast outs, but I think the Thopter arrests can go. And then possibly the Angel of Sanctions comes back in. Oh no, the Sorcerer's Spyglasses. What am I thinking? This is why these are here. Yes, I quite like that. Yeah, no, it was the Spyglasses. Anyway, so I'm like, okay, this draft hasn't fired. I'm a little bit tilted about the fact that it hasn't fired. They give me my money back, and I'm like, okay, whatever. I'm going to go buy a pack of MM15, and I'm staying at my then girlfriend's parents for the evening. Hey, thanks for that follow, Rex. That really helps out. So I'm like, fine, let's get in a cab. Let's go to my girlfriend's parents. Ugh, mulligan that. And in the cab, I crack this pack, and I open a foil Khan, and I'm like, yeah, that's just the rubbins right there. Didn't get to draft, did open a foil Karn. This hand is interesting. I think with a scry we're allowed to keep it. Like, it's not good. It's not a good hand. But if we can hit runner, we're probably good. So I think we're kind of keeping that. That's not what I wanted to say. Like, if I could see their hand first, if I could duress them right now and go, you're not going to have an answer for this, maybe I get out of it. I think it's a top, yeah. We might be able to take away, like, their only counter spell or something. I'm also, I think, incentivized to just duress here. I mean, Card Kingdom has its place. Every shop has their place, and normally that place is, I need it right now. Like, not at any point in the near future, I need it right now. Oh, jeez. That's weird. Like, normally the big shops, because they rely on their... yeah, we're taking the negate here, I think. Obviously, the cast out gets rid of the Karn, but... yeah, we didn't hit a 2-drop. That's unfortunate. The big shops, like, if they start selling fakes, that's really bad for them. So it's really weird. But yeah, I mean, we've got... So you could see the difference between them. Yeah. That is pretty rough, though. Yep. Opponents drew a tap land, cycled the tap land, plays the Ipnu Rivulet, plays Search for Azcanta. Their draws have not been bad. I'm actually liking the Memorial to Genius, like all the memorials. I think they're gonna see. It's weird. I have to start thinking about like depowered standard as well ahead of time, because next season is modern season and the only thing we've got is nationals. So it's like, okay, what do I get to play modern standard? And standard I've got this season where I get to play like 3 PPTQs because of the job, and just general life problems. And then next season we've got nationals where and I'm going to be playing a lot of modern. So it's the season after, and I'm like, these cards in a depowered standard, these cards look insane. In a standard with no deserts, where you want to get utility out of your mana base, seem great, right? Plains, Benalia, have at it. I hate that it's a competitive format, Der Half-Breed. That's my opinion on it. I take the Brad Nelson view of it. I think it's a lovable dumpster fire. Oh, that's annoying. Now they get to turn off my Karn. That's tilting. But yeah, it's for a competitive format. You're like, why? Why is this here? Why do I have to learn how to play this stupid format? Okay, opponent doesn't have double white. Opponent cycle the irritated farmland. Doesn't have the double white. To be fair, they slam Lyra next turn and I don't look great. Okay, let's play that and then we're not going to get syncopated. I'm going to get an emblem and then force them to remove this Gideon. Not that they won't, but, you know. Yeah, competitively it's a nightmare because there are those weird like 80-20 matchups and they're cycling another irritated farmland. There are those weird 80-20 matchups where you died during deck registration. And I don't like that. Oh, what? You just haven't got the other copy of Living End. Okay, Sorcerer Spyglass named Gideon. That's annoying. You still have to get it off the board, though. You still have to take it off the board to ever beat me. Hand now looks a little bit mopey. See, that's the thing. If you can buy into it and keep the same deck, then it is actually cheaper than standard. And I totally get that. Like, it is the biggest format in London as well. Like, I'm not in London at the moment, I'm in Norwich, but in London it's the biggest format. Yeah, the second card is a little tilting. It's like, it's already off. I don't need to be reminded that it's off. Teferi? Yeah, sure. What are we doing with Teferi? Are we going up with Teferi? Up with Teferi seems good. Yeah, it's... Modern is good in those sorts of environments. This is rough, folks. We're having a bad day here. Attack with all creatures. I think we have to knock this Teferi down. Because I think next turn they go Lyra, we don't get to kill the Teferi ever. We can take the Teferi away. Like, it can be if you sell the right cards at the right time. The problem is, if you want to continue to be competitive right up until, like, the end of the season when those cards are rotating out, you have to keep hold of them. It's Walking Ballista. When do I sell my Walking Ballistas? Because I kind of want to sell them now because they're insanely high prices, but I've got a whole other season of PPTQs to play. Do I sell them next season? But I've got Nationals to play. Like, I can't get rid of it until it rotates out of Standard. Yeah, exactly. And the thing is, it goes in every deck as well. So Walking Ballista is one of those. We're going to concede here. We're going to move on with our lives. Okay, we are going to bring in a Fragmentize, I think, to deal with that freaking... then Angels? I don't know. Right, because we've only got 2 cast out, I'm bringing in either 2 Thopter Arrest or 2 Angel of Sanction. I think it's 2 Thopter Arrest. And I think we're also taking out Heart of Kiran. Might even be 2 hearts. I know they've got Vigilance and so they're pretty good. It's just the problem with like, if they kill all of my creatures, nothing's crewing Heart. To be fair, if I'd seen it that last game, I wouldn't have been in such a bad spot, because obviously my Planeswalkers can still crew them. I'll tell you what, we're not gonna bother bringing in this Fragmentize. We're bringing in Thopter Arrest, which can be used to kill Spyglasses, and we're gonna trim a Toolcraft Exemplar and trim a... No, we're on the play. We want that Toolcraft Exemplar. Yeah, right. It's like, but this is Legacy. These are the oldest cards that regularly see tournament play. There's no vintage tournaments. Yeah, humans is more expensive than a lot of blue Legacy decks. No, we're gonna trim one. No, we're gonna trim one of those instead of that Toolcraft Exemplar, I think. Yeah, submit. Like, I'm not against that half-breed. The reserve list, I think, is complete nonsense, and that's coming from a guy who owns a few dual lands now. Like, I have started buying into Legacy, and I'm still... No, this is a mulligan as well. That's great. Yes, agreed. There were people ran proxy tournaments in London actually, which was really cool. Like they ran proxy legacy tournaments, obviously unsanctioned, but the prizes were really great. Like friend of mine, Top Ford, walked away with like a playset of Force of Wills and I want to say a Tropical Island, but I think it was one of the non-blue jewels, maybe a Scrubland. Blah, blah. That's gross. Yeah, keep it, I guess. Bottom U. Yeah, see you later, Rect. Have a good one. We're going to play Toolcraft out. We're going to hope to hit a land off the top. Yeah, got there. Yeah, right. That sort of that level of the shops just being like, no, you know what? People want to play this format. It's an interesting format. Whether or not it's sanctioned is like whatever. Right, we're going to do this to get around the first seal away. Because obviously, if my opponent seals away my Toolcraft Exemplar, I am sad. Pass the turn. No, irritated farmland. Russia. But yeah, the people in London, I think they ended up not having a place to do it. We're going to cycle this anymore because the pub that they were in changed manager. Like the manager used to be a Magic player, and then the pub changed their manager. Proxying Bazaar, and then yeah. Man. Jeez, yeah, Bazaar of Baghdad. What a card, man. Little unfortunate, obviously, the History of Benalia tokens do not crew the Heart of Kiran, but what can you do? And I'm kind of in the I just hope this resolves first History of Benalia. If it doesn't, and I don't think it will, but if it doesn't, then that's that. Yep, there we go. Dredge is such a weird thing that it exists in every format where it can, and is slightly different in every one. Like, there's always common elements, obviously, but it's interesting the way it has changed in other formats. I have a judge friend. She loves playing it in Modern. She'll play it when it's not even particularly good, like in the meta. Everyone thinks the legacy in Vintage end on turn one all the time. They do sometimes. Yeah, no, absolutely. Like you watch the legacy and the Vintage Super League, which I really enjoy actually. Like, I really think it's a really good thing that Wizards is doing, and they are really interesting. And yeah, there are games where it's like, on turn one, my opponent didn't have a Force of Will, and so they fell over and died. And then there are a lot where it's just like, nah, they had the Force of Will, and now both players are playing with like no resources. Yeah, we're dead here. We're going to look at their hand. We're going to name Teferi. We're going to get our Sorcerer Spyglass cast out next turn. Teferi, Hero of Standard. See, this is it. Force of Will would actually be straight awful in Standard. And I think it would be very good in Modern. But you know. Field of Ruin. You attacking here? No, not attacking. Interesting. Yeah, force would be absolutely terrible. Yep, sorry folks, we've lost this one. We mulled to 5 in game 3. I don't know, like, would it though? Would it be that big of a deal to that one deck to make the paradoxical outcome deck? Yeah, because there isn't enough card advantage in Standard, right? You've got Glimmer of Genius, which effectively draws you 1 card. You've got... And then when you flash it back, it does then actually get you 2. You know, it's not... You've not got... Pull from Tomorrow is the closest we've got. And even then, they've stuck some serious restrictions on it. Like, double blue and discard a card. So you have to be doing it for 6 mana before you're drawing 2 cards, basically. Is that right? 3... No. 6 mana before you're drawing 3 cards. And it's like, that seems really rough. Tempted to just run this back in another league. Deck seems fun. I think there's a lot to be said for its